Because before I read you some quotes, I want to also read you why I'm saying this to you. Remember when I brought up the 2024 U.S. Olympic roster, how she was left off of that, and how stupid that was for Team USA women's basketball to leave her off? Remember I said that? They said this is where they're going now. Ms. Clark's targeting may reflect a culture of disparate treatment, and the evidence provides reasonable cause for a federal probe into potential civil rights violations.
Caitlin Clark's been tossed around the WNBA like a piñata at a toddler's birthday party. And now Stephen A. Smith is hotter than a microwave burrito at halftime. He just watched her get fouled so many times, he called it a civil rights crisis in high tops. This isn't basketball, it's bumper cars with a shot clock. And Stephen A., he's not just reacting, he's testifying. Loud, wild, unfiltered. You've never seen him this unhinged. And yes, it's even funnier than you think. Strap in. This one's scorched earth.
I had to talk about a story that's very, very important. And albeit indirectly, it involves Caitlin Clark, the Department of Justice, and quite possibly the President of the United States himself.
Let's get this straight. Stephen A. Smith just witnessed Caitlin Clark play an entire WNBA game and said, No, I want subpoenas. I want swoops on the witness stand. Somebody get a gavel. We're about to turn this into Law & Order WNBA Victims Unit. Because what else do you do when the league's one shining light is getting stomped, smacked, hip-checked, and eye-poked like she's trying to dribble through the cast of Mortal Kombat?
And I feel bad because it seems like the sisters are bullying the little girls, or the older players are bullying the younger girls. I don't want to make it about race because I've seen white girls bullying the young white girls. I've seen the black girls bullying the young white girls.
Now, you can argue about Caitlin Clark's stats. Go ahead, argue. Debate her usage rate, field goal percentage, plus minus, PR, RPM, CPR, FBI, CIA, whatever acronym you want to throw at it. That's not the point. The point is, the WNBA finally had a golden ticket to mainstream relevance. They had their Michael Jordan moment, and they handed her over to the Goon Squad.
Let me read to y'all the opening couple of graphs, because I want you to hear the impact of this. This is serious. This is serious. And I could say it with my team here, having the footage and the receipts to back me up. I could be in that I told you so mode. I really, really could. But I ain't going to do that because I'm in a good mood. I'm going to be chill. But I could be saying.
And Stephen A., oh bless him, he's standing on national television acting like this is the Selma March with sneakers. He's got veins popping out of his forehead like the Wi-Fi is down during a live broadcast. Because even he knows if the WNBA fumbles this bag, it's back to being televised on channel Who Asked at 2:15 a.m. between reruns of Matlock and infomercials for waterproof socks.
Caitlin Clark has done for the women's NBA what Michael Jordan once did for the NBA. Made it more valuable, watchable, and marketable. Instead of protecting its transformative star, the league's leadership ignores the relentless targeting of...
And yes, somewhere in a smoky group chat, a WNBA player is probably typing, "She gotta earn her respect," while setting a hard screen with enough force to shift tectonic plates. Because apparently, earning respect now means survive blunt force trauma for 4 quarters.
Treating its greatest asset as if she were a PR headache. That approach could turn into legal liability for the WNBA. Okay, well, get this. Get this. We're watching this play out. Caitlin Clark's been hurt. We're watching in front of our very eyes how differently these teams are treating the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark on the court. I mean, let's just be real. It's been much different.
Let's just walk through this. You've got a rookie bringing in ratings not seen since the league was first launched by Pure Hope and a 1990s fax machine. She's bringing in new fans, sold-out arenas, headlines, actual buzz, and what does she get in return? Poked in the eye, tripped from behind, slammed to the floor, and then, just for fun, she gets the technical foul. Oh, the logic. Somewhere in an alternate universe, Rodman is looking at this league like, even I wouldn't go that far. But don't worry, because Stephen A. is here for justice. He's calling it what it is. And the reaction? Oh boy. The internet's lighting up with replies like, "She flops. She needs to toughen up." And what about all the other players who've suffered? Ah yes, the Olympics of victimhood begins. It's the Hunger Games of who deserves empathy. Only this time, the prize is watching someone else get decked and saying, well, I had it worse, so shut up. We're watching a whole league try to eat its own future. It's like someone handed them a golden goose and they said, let's make wings out of this thing.
WNBA. Y'all are in trouble. I told y'all. Y'all didn't want to protect my precious CC. Now y'all getting hit with a civil lawsuit for targeting. You hear me? And then this stuff is documented. That don't even make no sense from players just speaking freely, thinking that they won't have no consequences. That means somebody had them on the payroll. You know what I'm saying? She done had 4 injuries within like a month and a half. Disgusting.
And don't give us the, well, physicality is part of the game speech. We've seen physical. We've seen playoff basketball. We've seen elbows and box outs and hard fouls. This isn't that. This is the WNBA's unofficial new rulebook. If she's popular, make her regret it. Meanwhile, somewhere on a podcast no one asked for, a player is probably saying, people only like her because she's white. Which, wow, what a way to reduce a lifetime of dedication, pressure, and hard work into a Netflix documentary called White Girl Dribbles Must Be a Conspiracy. Jealousy in sports is nothing new. But this level, this is different. This isn't, I want to outplay you. This is, I want to body slam you and then whine when I don't get a Gatorade commercial. We've entered the WWE era of basketball, only without the production value or The Rock yelling, if you smell. Let's be real. Caitlin Clark isn't the problem. And the refs? Oh, don't get us started. The officials in these games are acting like they're playing whack-a-call. There's more consistency in a toddler's bedtime routine than there is in these foul calls.
Months ago, remember I talked about people being jealous? The Cheryl Swoops of the world and others. Remember I pointed that stuff out? Remember I talked about the rough housing? Remember I talked about all of that? Let me read further. This would mirror the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission investigation into the Erica Hamby's pregnancy discrimination claims against the WNBA and her team. Congress and Labor and Justice Departments would be justified in examining the facts. At Harvard and Columbia, during anti-Semitic protests, institutional leaders played down threats and failed to protect.
One play, she's hammered like a discount nail at Home Depot, no whistle. Next play, she looks at someone funny. Technical. Are we even pretending anymore? We're watching referees who act like they got their training from UFC judges. Meanwhile, ESPN is over here trying to spin this like she's learning the ropes. Oh, really? Learning the ropes? The woman's out here getting clotheslined like it's Monday Night Raw, and you're acting like this is some quirky rite of passage? Stephen A. wasn't having it. You could feel the Brooklyn leaving his body and being replaced by pure righteous fury, the kind of fury that usually follows bad Knicks trades or Skip Bayless opening his mouth. He called it for what it was, a sabotage, not even a clever one. A clumsy, obvious, jealous little sabotage that's turning the WNBA into a meme before it ever became mainstream. And the sad part? Caitlin Clark just keeps playing through it. She's not whining, not throwing tantrums, just hooping. And hooping well, by the way. Better than half the league's bitter benchwarmers who think defense means attempt homicide. And yet, it's not enough. Because apparently, to some, she didn't earn it. Oh yes, the sacred, vague, moving goalpost definition of earning it. Which in this context translates to, we just don't like that people like you.
In the league, who was top 4 in MVP voting last year, the assist leader last year, a galvanizing talent that has done wonders for the NBA. If she is seen to be physically getting abused on a basketball court in a way that is such a clear and flagrant discrepancy compared to what happens to others, that man is not going.
You could drop Caitlin Clark into the middle of a volcano, have her hit a three-pointer while being dive tackled by a pterodactyl, and someone would still say, she needs to prove herself more. It's become comedy. Unintentional, dark, slapstick comedy. Like watching someone fall downstairs while screaming, I'm a professional. Let's be honest. This whole situation is what happens when ego meets insecurity in a back alley and they decide to jump the future of women's basketball. The problem isn't just the fouls, it's the silence. Where's the outcry? Where are the statements? Oh, that's right. They're too busy tweeting cryptic messages about protecting the game, while simultaneously launching themselves at the only player keeping the league relevant. And the league office? Radio silence. Like they're hoping if they just ignore the concussion protocol violations, they'll evaporate into the void. Imagine if LeBron was treated like this his rookie year. Let her fend for herself. She's just a rookie. She can take it. She's tough, right? Oh, she's tough. No doubt, you have to play with a target on your back night after night while being blamed for everything from racial tensions to player pay disparity to the global water shortage.
The kind of stuff that's happening and has been happening over the last few months is because of Caitlin Clark. I got some of the stats in front of me to validate it. Because you see, I bring receipts. And I'll get to why I'm really pissed off in a few minutes. WNBA Draft 2024 drew 2.446 million viewers to ESPN on Monday night, making it the most watched draft in WNBA history. Who's the number one overall pick? Huh, Aaron? Who's the number one overall pick? Say it loud.
You'd think she's personally responsible for all social injustices. Meanwhile, she's out here getting whacked in the face for hitting open threes. And Stephen A. isn't just outraged, he's disappointed. You can hear it in his voice, the frustration of someone who's watched too many athletes get chewed up by bitterness and bad management. He's saying, this ain't it, because it isn't. This isn't competition. It's petty vengeance dressed up as physicality. And look, the truth hurts. Yes, Caitlin Clark gets more coverage. Yes, she gets endorsement deals. Yes, she's the headline. But guess what? That spotlight could have been shared, elevated, used as a rising tide for all boats. Instead, we got WWE meets WNBA, where every other player thinks they're Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the fans are supposed to cheer when the newcomer gets powerbombed. Let's be clear, this isn't about favoritism, this is about sabotage. The only people benefiting from this madness are chiropractors and YouTube channels doing slow-mo breakdowns of fouls that somehow didn't get called. The league should be ashamed. Not just because it's letting this happen, but because it's pretending like it isn't.
This girl is a superstar. I've been saying it for years. I keep telling everybody she's the Steph Curry of women's basketball, college or pro. She is a superstar. I had the pleasure of doing an event with her on campus at Iowa a few months ago. I went there for my man Mark Shapiro, and I had a blast. She and I were on a panel together. She's a wonderful, wonderful young lady, incredibly poised, but this woman is the nation's leading scorer, averaging 31.5 points per game, shooting 40% from threes.
Stephen A. is mad because he knows what this could have been. He's seen leagues rise and fall on the backs of stars, and right now he's watching a league throw its golden goose into a wood chipper because they're mad she didn't ask permission to be great. So yeah, he wants witnesses, he wants receipts, he wants the Department of Justice, Nancy Grace, and maybe Judge Judy to step in and say, what in the actual hell is going on here? Because Caitlin Clark is being mugged mid-game and someone's yelling, flop. And if you can watch that happen and say, she's overhyped, congratulations, you're part of the problem. You're not critiquing basketball, you're cheerleading dysfunction. Let's hope Stephen A. keeps yelling, because someone needs to. Someone needs to scream into the abyss. While the WNBA takes its once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, you're performing a live stunt show for a league that doesn't know whether to thank you or tackle you into next week. And one day, when the documentary gets made and the league is begging for relevance, someone's going to look back and say, maybe we should have protected the only person people were actually watching. But hey, who needs ratings when you've got vendettas, right?
Treating its greatest asset as if she were a PR headache. That approach could turn into a legal liability for the WNBA. Since she joined the league last year, Ms. Clark's impact has been seismic. Merchandise sales soared 601%. Indiana Fever viewership jumped 170%. The team's value tripled. League Pass subscriptions climbed 366.
Just when you thought it couldn't get dumber, oh, it absolutely does. Because now we've got pundits, players, and people who haven't touched a basketball since the 8th grade chiming in like they're all WNBA philosophers. Suddenly, everybody's an expert on earning your place, as if Caitlin Clark needs to wash jerseys, carry luggage, and solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded just to be treated like a human being on the court. The welcome to the league rhetoric is being tossed around like a worn-out cliche from 1983. Oh, she's got to pay her dues? What is this? The mob? Did she join a basketball league or the Sopranos? Why does paying dues sound suspiciously like get assaulted while we pretend it's character building? Meanwhile, half the league is walking around with a chip on their shoulder the size of a regulation backboard. Really? Is this what you call basketball? The kind where elbows are flying like a Jackie Chan movie, players are hitting the hardwood harder than LeBron in Oscar season, and somehow the victim is the one getting penalized? You can't gaslight people in 4K. We've seen the footage. Caitlin Clark is out there playing dodgeball with people's limbs and still being told she's soft. If that's soft, then porcelain dolls have been getting unfairly labeled all this time.
Kathy Engelbert, where are you? Where are you, Kathy? Nowhere to be found. You are quiet. Quiet as a mouse. It done got real spooky, I know. Nightmare on Elm Street is what I'm talking about. Freddy Krueger style. It's wild. See, my problem with you is you don't protect.
Speaking of better, where's the leadership? Where's the WNBA commissioner? Where's the statement saying, we don't condone this nonsense, and yes, we value our star players being conscious and upright after games? You know, the bare minimum? Crickets. Just crickets and TikToks from bitter players mumbling about respect. At this point, respect is just code for you're not allowed to be more popular than me. And let's be real. If Caitlin Clark were anyone else getting hit with 17-plus flagrant fouls in a single season, there'd be lawsuits for the lawsuits, and a dramatic 60-minute special. But because she's smiling through the bruises and not crying on camera, people act like she's fine. She's not fine. She's a walking injury report. And yet, the league doesn't seem concerned. Smith speaks up. People act like he's lost his mind. Oh, how dare he defend the only reason the league is on national television? How dare he point out that maybe punching your biggest star in the ribs isn't the best marketing strategy? You know what's not growing the game? Elbows to the jugular, concussions in primetime, watching a future Hall of Famer get tackled mid-layup and then still being treated like the villain.
In Caitlin Clark's world, which is so unfortunate, I feel sorry for Caitlin Clark because she's a pawn of this whole thing, and I think Caitlin Clark needs to speak up. I'm tired of her being silent. I know she's trying to be like this Gandhi figure, try to be like MLK, you know, passive aggressiveness, but peaceful. I get it, but
the WNBA isn't gatekeeping anymore. It's holding the door shut with a crowbar while throwing rocks at the fans. You want to support women's sports? Great, but not her. She's too popular, too different, too white, too liked, too successful. God forbid someone makes women's basketball cool. No, let's drag her down to our level instead. Here's the bottom line. If this league doesn't figure it out soon, if they keep enabling this madness, they're going to wake up one day and find Caitlin Clark gone. Overseas, retired early, burned out, injured, disillusioned. And when that happens, they can high-five each other and say, well, at least she didn't get special treatment. Bravo. And if Stephen A. Smith wants to turn this into a courtroom drama, maybe he should. Because someone needs to be held accountable for how this circus got so violent, so toxic, so stupid. Case closed.